How you doing, guys? Welcome to Professor EDC's Blaze Academy. That's right. In this segment, we're going to discuss topics that you suggest or that I come up with, and I hope that we can keep a conversation going. Today's topic is going to be: is Kizer the current top dog of the production companies? Is Kizer the best production folder company out there? That's an interesting one. And let me give some arguments on why I think that might be. First of all, when we look at Kizer and back in the day when the Gemini by Ray Laconico was made and is still made in titanium and S35VN. That class or that tier of Vanguard is the Kai class. And years after, they came up with the Vanguard class or tier. But I'll get into that in just a second. Looking back in history, I remember back in those days when the Gemini had barely come out in the premium tier or the upper tier. Man, that caught my eye. And from there, I always wanted to get a Task 1 and was always difficult to get for some reason. It just happens. But I did get a fantastic knife that I had to sell sometime after, and that was the Kizer Kesmek. A gorgeous knife that I even compared in strength and similarities to the Hinderer XM18, but a fantastic, well put together and really gorgeous looking Kesmek, Kizer Kesmek. So, the work they do on the titanium and flame titanium and their steels, at least in my case, I've always had a good experience with Kizer. But Kizer evolved, and back then they already had Tangram, which was their entry-level tier. And then afterwards they came up with Vanguard. So it has Kizer is divided into 3 tiers, 3 classes. Kai being the premium, Vanguard being the midway, and Tangram being the entry level or budget level. But talking about Vanguard, we're getting these same designs, collaborations, and with different materials, but great quality. So we have N690 steel, micarta, and these blue accents, which, by the way, and an action running on ceramic bearings, the action on this thing, it's just so smooth. And if I remember correctly, I've held one other Gemini some years ago in the upper tier. But this just feels so smooth and lighter, and I don't know, I think I might like this version of it better. And we can say the same about the Task 1, already in different materials, with that same great quality. And well, this is an all-time favorite for me, definitely. And of course, I'd love to try out, and I will at some point, the Vanguard tier of the Task 1. But at the same time, they still work, they still keep their upper tier, their Kai class, and collaborations, and just wonderful materials and pretty good taste on what they are doing. But we can also say that about the rest of the tiers. By the way, this is The Matanzas by Nick Swan, and just a gorgeous harpoon-like folder, very, very EDCable knife. Great action, smooth, just love it. And then we have the Grazioso in micarta and brass, and this is N690 as well, or 154. They have mixed up, I can't, N690. They have included some other steels, which is also fantastic, but have a take a look at that geometry, that profile. It's really, really gorgeous. Again, the action, it just, you know, there's this thing that I've come to call the eye knife, like the iWatch, the iPad, the I, and that trend, and but out there are things that you know, one thing is to put a model or two out and you know, hit a home run, and that's okay, that's perfect, that's a fantastic thing for whoever does that. But another thing is to sustain yourself in such a competitive market, and that is something that Kizer has done at different levels, and that has also been a pioneer for other companies, you know. Before there was before there was Riyadh, Kizer had already been there and opened some doors. And I just see some other companies, and I'm not going to mention any names, but or brands, but just falling asleep in their laurels, and Kizer giving us price and competitive designs and aesthetic designs and different materials, and just really doing the work, really doing the homework. Their collaborations are fantastic. They have upgraded materials. Their design variety is second to none. The Squidward been in G10 and 154 cm. Check out that action, just absolutely false shot. It's very, very EDCable blade. And by the way, I don't get a single penny, I don't get a single knife from Kizer or from any other brand. This is just my point of view, my knives, and I'm just putting this out there into consideration. Because as we see, like I was talking about the eye knives, many new knives out there, many new brands out there, and yeah, that's fine. It's fine, but at the same time, let's not forget about those companies that have stayed there and have given us the quality that, for example, Kizer has, Chris Reeve has, Spyderco, a bunch of other Hinderer. bunch of other companies that have improved over the years and are not just coming in the market and setting up their prices to compete with brands that have been there for a longer time and deserve that that spot. I think that's something that we should take into consideration. You know, new brands, it's perfectly fine. That's how the world is, and how the market works. But at the same time, let us talk about pricing for new companies, for newcomers. Should they establish the same prices as older companies that have earned the quality, that have earned the respect? That's something to think about. And if you ask me, those prices should not be the same. They should at least introduce themselves into the market with lower prices, and then as the demand grows and they can demonstrate their quality, their customer service, then increase their prices, but not before. And so, yeah, I know that's how the market functions and all, but then again, we hold the decision of where we put our money. And like a good friend of mine, Alchemy One Clint, has said before, vote with your money. So, what do you guys think? Is Kizer the best production company out there currently? I can think of, and talking about this range, these tiers, because of course we can't compare one company to a different tier, for like Chris Reeve, like Kinder, Strider, Koenig, you know, but Kizer is right there with Spyderco, with Benchmade, with Zero Tolerance, with Concept. You know, that's one of the examples of these new coming companies that introduce themselves into the market. And I'm sure, because I've seen many of their models, I'm sure that they're doing a good job, but introducing themselves with the same prices as a new company as these other companies, I just don't see that fair. I just don't see that not only fair, but I do think it is about earning the trust of consumers and the loyalty, as I do believe in loyalty. As I do believe if there was a problem with one of my knives, whatever company it was, I would talk about it, as I have done in the past. Anyways, what do you guys think? I do think Kizer is one of the most versatile companies out there, not only in the models that they are offering us, but also their prices and the materials. And I think it just it has earned its spot in the modern knife community and the modern knife world. I could not think of the knife community or the EDC community without Kizer. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to keep the conversation going, and who knows? Let's see where we can take this. Professor EDC out.